Today, we're going to discuss that life is a test. If you don't know me, I'm here, and I make videos about being mindful in everyday situations. So let's talk about this idea of life being a test. Is it really true? What does it mean? What are we being tested on? How long is the test for? And why should you care? That's what we're going to be talking about today. So, if you think about it, the human experience has been more or less the same since humans have existed. We're all born! We live our lives! We die. Some people have more money. Some people have less money. Some people have more problems. Some people have less problems. But at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all feel emotions. We all try to find love. We all try to find happiness. And we all eventually die. So considering that life has been pretty much the same for a very long time, you would think that we'd have figured out the formula to happiness by now, right? You would think we would have figured out how to stop wars and how to make sure no one goes hungry. But unfortunately, we still haven't figured it out. There's still poverty. There's still war. There's still famine. So if life were a test, then what are we being tested on? Well, let's look at the things that seem to cause us the most suffering. One of the main causes of suffering seems to be our relationships with other people. We get jealous. We get angry. We get upset. We fight with our partners. We fight with our friends. We fight with our family members. And sometimes those arguments can go on for years. We hold grudges against people. We don't forgive them. And we allow these negative emotions to eat away at us. So if life is a test, then maybe we're being tested on our ability to relate to other people, to communicate with other people, to control our emotions so that we aren't lash out at other people when we feeling angry or frustrated. Maybe we being tested on our ability to control our own mind and not let other people bring up our negative emotions. Maybe we're being tested on our ability to forgive. Because if we can control our emotions around other people, if we can forgive other people, then life becomes a much happier place. Another source of suffering comes from our attachment to things. And when I say things, I mean our material possessions, our jobs, our status, our health, our lives. When we hold on too tightly to these things, we suffer. Because inevitably, these things will change. Our job might not always be there. Our health might not always be there. Our looks might not always be there. And when these things change, we suffer. So maybe we're being tested on our ability to detach from things, to accept that things will change and that we cannot control everything. Maybe we being tested on our ability to be grateful for what we have rather than always wanting more. If we can learn to detach from our things, then maybe we won't suffer as much when our circumstances change. Another thing that causes us a lot of suffering is our attachment to outcomes. So many times we do things because we want a certain outcome. But perhaps the greatest source of suffering comes from our inability to accept ourselves, to accept who we are, to accept our flaws, our weaknesses, our mistakes. We want to be perfect. We want to do everything perfectly. And when we're not perfect, we suffer. So maybe the greatest test in life is our ability to accept ourselves, to accept who we are, to accept our flaws, our weaknesses, our mistakes. Maybe the greatest lesson we can learn in life is that it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fail. We're only human! We can't do everything perfectly. When we learn to accept ourselves, then we can start to accept others as well. We can learn to forgive others because we learn to forgive ourselves. We can learn to love others because we learn to love ourselves. But you might be thinking, why should I care about any of this? Why should I care about this test? I mean, I'm only here for a short time anyway. So why bother trying to figure out the meaning of life, or why bother trying to improve myself? Well, think about it this way. You've probably heard the saying that if you do what you love, then you never have to work a day in your life. And I believe that this is true. If you do something that you truly love, then you don't really have to work at it. It doesn't feel like work. It feels like play. It feels like fun. And if you think about it, Children play because they love what they're doing. They don't do things because they have to. They don't do things because they'll get a reward. They do things because they enjoy it. And I believe that as adults, we should try to find activities that we can do just for the sake of doing them. Just because we enjoy them. Just because they make us happy. So if you find something that you love doing and you do it every day, then your life will be filled with joy. You won't have to work a day in your life. If you can find something that you're passionate about and you do it every day, then you won't need money. You won't have to worry about money. And I believe that this is true freedom. But what if you don't find anything that you're passionate about? Well, then I believe that we should try to find meaning in the everyday things, even the mundane things. We should try to find beauty in the everyday things. And when we do this, life becomes more joyful. Life becomes more fun. So if we take the attitude of a child and we approach life with curiosity and with wonder, then life becomes more enjoyable. We can find more meaning in it. We can find more beauty in it. Perhaps the greatest gift you can give yourself is to try to find beauty in the mundane. To try to find meaning in the mundane. To try to find joy in the mundane. When you do this, life becomes more fun. Life becomes more enjoyable. And when you do this, you're passing this test called life. Some people might say, but what if I'm not religious? Does this apply to me? And my answer to that would be, yes. I believe that this applies to all of us, whether we're religious or not. Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings. We all feel emotions. We all go through the same experiences. And I believe that we all have the ability to choose how we react to those experiences. We can choose to be happy, or we can choose to be miserable. We can choose to see the beauty in life, or we can choose to focus on the negative. And I believe that it's up to each of us to decide how we want to live our lives. So is life a test? I believe that it is. And what are we being tested on? We're being tested on our ability to control our emotions. We're being tested on our ability to accept ourselves. We're being tested on our ability to accept others. We're being tested on our ability to detach from outcomes. And we're being tested on our ability to find meaning in the mundane, to find joy in the mundane, to find beauty in the mundane. How long is this test? Well, it's as long as your life. It starts when you're born, and it ends when you die. And what happens at the end of the test? Well, that depends on how you perform, right? If you pass the test, then I believe that you will find peace. You will find happiness. You will find love. But if you fail the test, then I believe that you will continue to suffer. So if you're failing the test right now, if you're having a lot of suffering in your life, then it's an opportunity for you to try again. It's an opportunity for you to learn from your mistakes and to try to do better next time. It's an opportunity for you to become a better person. Why should you care about this test? Because it's your life. It's your existence. It's your consciousness. It's your awareness. You only get one shot at this, right? You can't redo it. You can't replay it. So, it's important that you try to make the most of it. It's important that you try to find meaning in it. That you try to find joy in it. That you try to find beauty in it. So, thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave me a like. And remember, life is a test. Are you passing it?